What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 56 of the Offshore Gamescast. Dylan, introduce me.
That person is Dave. Are you going to introduce me?
No, I already did.
Kind of.
Well, yeah, there's only two of us.
Yeah, but it wasn't like...
So they know who you are.
I wanted something a little more, grand.
That's like 3 weeks from now.
What does that mean?
I don't know. It means I'm not going to fucking do it right now.
It's Alright, well, something's happening in 3 weeks where you'll do it?
No, I'll probably forget.
I will definitely forget. I'm going to forget this ever happened.
Good.
All right, we're back. We have a little bit of news. You see what we are news reporters.
We are investigative journalists, scoping out the deadliest parts of gaming websites.
It's dangerous out there.
Uh-huh.
If you go to offshoregamescast.com/news, we're posting some news that we're being sent along. Some, a lot of indie stuff. So
it looks
you're
pretty
interested
too.
in. It looks very pretty. I'm very happy with how it's all coming out. But we're going to talk about some things that we posted about this week in the news section. But go to offshoregamescast.com/news. We'll have all sorts of, for mostly indie stuff, but a lot of gaming news there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you'll find a game you never heard of, and then it'll end up being the best game of your life.
There's a chance it happened to one of you.
That made it sound like it already happened to one of them.
Yeah, I'm talking about you.
Me?
Yeah.
What?
Neon White. It happened to you.
It did happen to me. That's true. I never heard of Neon White, and then I saw it, and then I loved it.
Yep.
All right, Dave. Talk to me.
Oh, God, I really wish I didn't go first because I'm not happy about this.
Oh, okay. I didn't look at your notes or anything, so I don't know.
You remember when CrossfireX was coming out and they said that they were bringing a campaign with it since they're finally bringing it over to the West? So
yeah, I remember we were both just like, hey, a cool FPS campaign, whatever. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's being made by Remedy. Oh, all right, cool. Let's do it. So I went to go using Xbox's streaming to start it. And I think I got maybe a few minutes in, and I'm like, the quality of this is garbage. So I ended up having to download it. And it took forever. So I finally got the chance to sit down and start playing it. And this has got to be the worst Call of Duty game I've ever played.
Oh, okay. So it's very clearly trying to be like a Call of Duty campaign.
It's terrible. If you see next to my notes, so there's two operations. There's the first one is Operation Catalyst, which is there for you to play. The other one, I don't remember the name of it, but you have to pay for it. And I will tell you right now, once I'm done with Operation Catalyst, there is no way a single cent of my money is going towards the other one.
Oh, boy.
So I have written down CrossfireX, Operation Catalyst, and in the parentheses, Black Ops None, because this is just a rehash of a Black Ops game, even worse.
Okay, I did see the Black Ops None thing, and I was like, what does that mean? Is there something that I don't understand?
So here's the gist. It's you and 3 other guys, your squad, and you're like this Black Ops sort of like team. You're going in, and who do you have to go and take out? Steiner, who is like the biggest. There are 3 big names in Black Ops 1 you got to take out. One of them is Steiner. So I'm like, oh great, we're doing this again. Immediately off the bat, you're thrown an ability that's basically like, they call it like a combat, whatever. It's just it's bullet mode. It's a slow mo. You hit it. You're doing the classic like, oh, let me breach, but you can just do it whenever you want. You're just doing like a slow-mo thing.
Yeah.
The game doesn't feel good to play. Like I was saying last week, this game doesn't feel good. I messed with the sensitivity because right off the bat, it was way too high. And even then, it just feels bad. It feels so sluggish. And even when you're running, I will not have many good things to say about this.
Oh boy.
So you're in what you're in, I don't, Asgarzia, some country, and Steiner, some Russian dude or whatever, is they're doing shit, and there's Operation Catalyst, and there's a, I don't fucking give a fuck. This story sucks. Oh my god. So right off the bat, you're going around, you're trying to collect intel, and the the game throws you for a huge loop when it kills off one of your teammates, Kavanaugh. And the interactions between the characters are terrible. The voice
Oh
acting
no.
is terrible.
Oh
Like
boy.
so he gets taken out and you think he's dead and you get kidnapped and you wake up and then you like get out and it's like you and your other teammates trying to like save you, and you finally meet all back up together and he's like, yeah, well, it's what Rob I mean Kavanaugh, we gotta figure out him. So it's like so Kavanaugh is his wife's sister, so like they were close. The character you're playing as is Hall, the most generic like military brutish white guy. It's awful. Like immediately I'm thinking, and I'm like, did this game come out in 2007? Like, why? Everything about it just feels like it came out on like the 360 PS3.
You know, yeah, as you were describing it, once you said that, I was like, yeah, you know, that does sound like it would be a 360 game.
You're running through this building and then you're going through this town just like shooting guys left and right. They're just dropping like flies. The AI is super dumb. All this other stuff. And some like we're running through this hotel and there's so many bad guys just like infiltrating it and fighting, and one of them goes, "Oh, this hotel service sucks." And like they're cracking jokes left and right in what should be like a very sad moment because he's like
Uh-huh.
upset over his friend dying, and the other guy's just like, well, can't we just evac and get the fuck out of here? It's like, no, we gotta go back for Kavanaugh, for Rob. It's like, he's dead. It's like, no. So you have this weird vision dream when you get kidnapped, and in this vision dream you're walking through your mansion because this place is huge. And it becomes like a photo collectible where you're just walking around up to pictures and you're just holding X, just collecting collectibles. It's so boring. So you go down into this room and you're tripping, and then you see Kavanaugh and he's telling you that he's alive and whatnot, and you got to go save him. And I'm just like, what the fuck's happening? So after this fever dream, you're like, no, we got to go save Rob. We got to go save Kavanaugh. It's like, well, why don't we just get the fuck out of here? And it's like, if it was you, would you want us to do the same? And the dude's like, whatever. And it makes sense later on. So you're going through. The only like decent thing is that in certain gameplay points, you switch perspectives to the other people. So you have Kavanaugh, who's like the generic, like military assault rifle guy. You have Randall, who's the sniper, and you have Morales, who's the like heavy gunner. They all suck. They're all boring, bland. There's nothing good about them. Morales is just like an annoying hotshot who talks a lot and like no one gives a fuck what he says. Randall's like the only normal one. He just shoots with his sniper and then they just repeat things too often. And you know when you're in a game and it's like, hey, go over to B, and then like you literally turn to start walking and it's like, why aren't you at B yet? I'm like, I'm fucking going there, man.
Yeah. Yep.
So like I'm on my way, and they keep doing this thing where it's like, as the sniper perspective, there's like things in the window. Instead of just walking up to the window, you have to like remove a piece of wood. So you go on this quick little cutscene of him like ripping down a piece of wood and then badass trying looking down the scope, and I'm like, this sucks. Everything from 2007 is in this game, and I hate it. So I'm going and I'm playing through, and I don't even give a fuck if you like there. I'm not even throwing up a spoiler warning. This game is trash. You go through and there's like the two bad guys, Steiner and this one girl, and you have to figure out, you got to save Kavanaugh, you got to figure out what Operation Catalyst is, which, I'm not even paying attention to the goddamn story. It sucks so bad. you keep going in and out of this dream sequence where Kavanaugh is, and he's talking to you, and you're just on this thing, and Steiner's like, oh, he's alive. So he leads you down into this, like, underground train station, and then Morales is like, guys, I don't feel good about this. He's definitely leading us into a trap. And Hall's like, well, we got Kavanaugh. Whatever, we got to get Kavanaugh. And I'm just like, oh my god. Like 4 minutes after he dies, they're sad, and then they're cracking jokes, and I'm like, this, you should be sad, and they all should be sad, and you're all being idiots. So we go down, and they have him, and then we're getting surrounded by the lady, and they're like, oh, what are you gonna do? Like, we have him captive. And he goes, haha, and the lady's like, no, we don't need him either. And he's like, are you kidding me? So they all drop their weapons because they have nothing to fight against now.
The lady?
The lady's the other bad guy with Steiner.
She's just the lady?
I don't remember her fucking name. I don't give a shit about anything.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure if she was actually referred to as just the lady or not.
No. So
okay.
So then Steiner's like, are you kidding me? And then Morales gets up, and then it turns out he double-crossed them and was working with the bad guys. And they're like, Morales, you kidding me? And he goes, sorry, man. And he goes, we're still going through on this deal? And they're like, yeah. So Morales kills Steiner right then and there, which was like the only way for us to get Kavanaugh. So Hall's upset. And then the lady's like, all right, now you got to kill these two, Randall and Hall. And he's like, no, that wasn't part of the deal. And she's like, well, you got to adapt. And he goes, nah, I'm not doing this. And so she takes the gun and shoots him. So now Morales is dead, which who cares?
Boy, they sucked at being in business for themselves.
Yeah. And this is okay. So this campaign's like 3 hours. This is an hour in. This is 1 hour in.
Oh man.
And even like, so as you're walking around, Hall's also narrating to himself, and he's like in the middle of just walking down like a trench or a very narrow alleyway, and he's like, how am I supposed to tell my wife, his sister, that he's dead? How can I? Like, what am I supposed to say? And I'm like, you tell him he's dead. Like, you're not going to keep it to yourself. Like, what are you going to do? Like,
you don't keep that a secret.
This is so stupid. And I don't like. I'm looking at my notes, and I don't even have anything else to say because I just want to keep complaining about how there's nothing good about this game. You like. The download side is massive. The download size is massive. The campaign's 3 hours. They put like no time into it. The writing is garbage. The voice acting is garbage. IGN gave it a 3, and that seems way too high.
Why do you think that? Is it like are the assets like is it like a good looking game? Like why is it such a high download size?
Well, because mainly you can't just download the campaign. You have to download the entirety of like the multiplayer and everything else. Which I can, after playing part of the campaign, I cannot see how I would ever want to touch the multiplayer whatsoever because it doesn't feel good to play.
That's what you're saying. Like it doesn't feel good to play, and you have to figure that how it can't be drastically different gameplay wise from the actual multiplayer, right? Like
no, I don't see how it could. And like there's some dumb parts, like you'll have there'll be parts that's like, oh, we got to protect Hall before we get him out, but he's like handcuffed to this chair and there's enemies coming. Oh, look, there's a waypoint above these enemies. I have this sniper, I got to take them out. All right, the waypoint's gone. And there's other enemies coming. And I don't know where they are because they're coming out of random directions and no one's telling me where they're coming from. And all of a sudden, I'm staring right at Hall and it goes, Hall died. And I'm like, what?
How did Hall die?
I don't know. But he died, so I had to redo it again. And I'm like, what's happening here? The only like semi-cool part was you end up getting in this like big tank at one point, and then you're just kind of like taking out like people and helicopters, and that was over in like 2-3 minutes, and even that was boring. The fact that I somehow have another 2 hours left of this, because after this point, because it's me, I just have to finish it no matter how much I hate it. I just need to see credits.
I was going to ask, like, are you even going to finish this? But
because it's such a simple game and it's just a shooter, whether it be one of the worst I've ever played, I still feel like I have to see it through to completion and see credits, but there's no way in hell I'm playing or paying for part 2,
Yeah.
whatever it is. It's so bad. It is so bad.
Yeah, ugh. That doesn't
It's
sound good at all.
and I'm playing on easy. I hate it. I hate it so
At
much.
least if it was at least if they got one of the things right, like if it had a cool story, it's a lot easier to look over like not great gameplay. If it has
Mhm.
really good gameplay, you can kind of look past a shitty story. But it sounds like it just has nothing.
Like some parts of it, like I don't know if it's the point of view, but there's like little glimpses of what remind me of like when you're looking over a town in Metro Exodus that you're about to explore, or oh, what was it? There was another game that I was thinking about, but there's like little moments where it feels like in that quick second it could be okay, and then
Right.
something happens where the game just reminds you how stupid it is, and just how like how in the next 5 seconds you know something's going to piss you off again, or at least anyone with common sense is going to look at this and go wrong, false, all of it is just bad. Like, I don't know
Just
who wrote this
false.
game or who sat down and put their time into it, but there's no way they can feel satisfied.
Wait, so this is made by Remedy?
So this is made in part with Remedy. I don't know if Remedy worked on the multiplayer mode beforehand or if they were brought in to like help out with like the Western version and maybe work on the campaign. It sucks. Like maybe they took like the few people that weren't good enough for Alan Wake and whatever the next control is and just like threw them in a room, like all 4 of them, and were like, you have to make 2 campaigns for this game. And they're like, what? And they're like,
Yeah, I
good
was gonna
luck.
say if Remedy was like the lead studio on this, which I don't know if they were or not, but there's no way it was like their A team working on this then because Remedy makes good games. So
Yeah, it's like they locked him up in a closet with 4 PCs, 4 people, and 1 granola bar, and they're like, make this game.
finish it, and then you can have more food.
Oh, it's bad. Bad.
Well, that sucks.
And the fact that I've been talking for like, what, almost 13, 14 minutes about how trash it is.
Yeah, it's been it's approaching 15 minutes of almost all just talking shit about this game.
If this game did come out in 2007, I think it might have gotten a 5.
You see, that's pretty bad.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot of the games from that era, because of some of the reasons you're saying, they just don't hold up well. It was a different time, but
Yeah.
not even a good 2007 one. Ugh.
No, not even close. That's the same year Modern Warfare 1 came out. This going up against that? Oh my goodness.
All right. Let's move on to something that I'm actually enjoying, which is Gwent Rogue Mage. That was it's the deck building roguelike that they just announced like last week, just randomly. It's like, oh hey, it's out now on PC and mobile.
I want to hear about this one. Is it straight up just like all the other ones, like with a roguelike element thrown in?
So I don't know what like Thronebreaker or the other Gwent shit was like. The only Gwent experience I have is from The Witcher 3. When it comes to these card games, again, like I know you play Slay the Spire.
So good.
I don't have any experience with that, so I don't know. The closest I have is Inscription.
I mean, when it comes to like even Inscription is just another version of that Magic style game, because all these ones are just a version of Magic.
Okay, so you can tell me because I don't know Magic.
Mm-hmm.
So let me explain the general system of how like a match goes.
Okay.
You have your deck, obviously. Your opponent has their card deck, obviously. You go first every time, and the opponent goes last every time, which I kind of wish was like more of like a like a coin gets flipped or something.
Yeah, I was literally gonna say a coin flip.
Because it always lets them on the last turn pull out some bullshit. Like it doesn't always happen, but you know, they always get that last big move that they can try and pull off,
Mm-hmm.
which is it's just kind of annoying. Like sometimes you want that for yourself, you know?
Yeah.
But it's not so much about like okay, I will say I've played Hearthstone. Uh
Yeah. Which
you're
again is
not
another version of Magic.
right. So in this you're not like you can with some cards, but the general idea is not to just attack your enemy.
Yeah.
It's about having more points than your opponent on the playing field. And basically your points, I don't remember the exact terms they use, but like your point total is based on the total health of all your cards on the playing field.
Combined.
So right.
Okay.
So let's say I have 2 cards on the playing field, right? Both have health of 5. My point total right now is 10.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want more than your opponent. And like I said, there are some cards can attack, but if your card has an action, you can pretty much only do that once for the entire match.
Mm-hmm.
So the starting deck that you get is a lot of, at least the strategy I had with it was about buffing up this one specific card that lets you attack and buffing it up like crazy to boost that attack value, and then doing it on like the last turn to really do some big damage.
Yeah.
But otherwise it's your card abilities that will do some things. Like it's like every time this card gets buffed, attack one enemy randomly. But it's not like you're picking like attack values on your cards and like saying this card attack this attack this every single turn like a lot of these are. So it is different in that sense. You can have like shields, which just block damage to the health. So like it could have 5 health and 3 shield, and then if you get 4 damage, it will knock out the shield and you get 1 health point knocked off of that card.
Okay.
You so you are just like the title, you're a mage, you're a rogue mage. I think in Witcher lore, I'm not a Witcher expert. This is way in the past. I think you're supposed to be the dude that was like doing magic and experimenting on things and ended up creating Witchers. I think that's what's going on here.
I know nothing about Witcher lore except that there are Witchers.
There are Witchers and they're mutated people. And I think this dude is the one that started that. I think. Okay. Again, I'm not that if you're a big Witcher fan, you listen to this, maybe you hate me right now. But that's what I've gathered. And so he has magic abilities, obviously. You have mana on each run that you get. And let's say you start with 50 out of 100. Every turn you can cast a spell, 1 of 3 spells, and you get new spells as you play through the game. But it'll be like damage an opposing card by 3 damage, or my favorite one, which costs 6 mana or whatever it's called in this game, is to create a random card that turn, and it'll give you 3 options. And sometimes you'll get some like pretty powerful cards that way, where like you could do that for a few turns to completely change the tide of an entire match. And the only way to recharge mana is across the map. So this is where my Inscription comparison is going to come in.
And this is where, reading your notes, this is where a lot of things similar to Slay the Spire come in. Because there's similar to Inscription, there's that map where you choose which direction you want to go.
So it is exactly that. I mean, you're moving left to right in this one. So
doesn't really matter either way.
It's a big difference.
Oh, huge. Let me just rotate it 90 degrees.
Yeah.
And fuck, what's the word? I can't be witty if I can't think of the fucking word.
Your wit level just lost like 7,000 points.
It's been a long day.
All right, maybe like 6,000, not 7,000 then. But yeah, it's that you get like a few different paths to choose from, and they'll sometimes be different, sometimes they're the same, and you'll get like it'll just be like 3 treasure chests you can choose from.
Innovative.
There you go, you did it.
There it is. It took me a good 30 seconds?
Probably about 30 seconds, yeah. But yeah, it's one of those. You go along the path, and you'll either run into a battle, a treasure chest, or like there'll be some things that will be like it's usually a trade-off. You don't just get like a good thing happens. It'll be like
Smells a
get
lot more like Slay the Spire.
yeah, you can like recharge this amount of mana or like get a new card, but also get a wound, which is just a
Yeah,
trash card that you always have in your deck then, which is just absolutely nothing. It's just a waste of a card.
exactly.
So it's that I based on Inscription, which I knew like wasn't the first one doing this. I knew Inscription's whole thing was like their crazy story shit.
Hmm.
So it's not necessarily crazy, but your mana recharges after each run. So like, it almost looks like I'm playing on mobile, right? I'm playing on my iPhone,
Hmm.
and it looks very microtransaction y. It's not. There's no
Ew.
there. The
Oh,
only microtransaction is that you can like change the outfit you're wearing if you buy the deluxe edition.
okay. So only aesthetically.
But yeah, it's really there's not much of a difference.
That's good.
Like I can't sit here and like spend $1 and get a mana boost for the next hour. But the UI, the little like lightning bolt of your mana, and then they also when you're on like the map, it'll have the mana meter, right? And then a timer right next to it.
Of
And when
course.
I first saw that, I was like, so does it recharge after a certain amount of time? What is it? So no, it that is just the time of your run. Like how long you've been going.
Okay.
But it
Yeah.
looked it's not what it is, but it looks so much like a mobile game, even though
Yeah.
it's not that. Um, so there are some cool things with your deck where you're not necessarily getting at least from at where I'm at, you're not getting full customization over your deck. Like I can't go in and like pull out these two cards and put in these two. It's more like you're picking the deck, and then after each run you get a certain amount of experience and it levels up. It's almost like a battle pass kind of,
Hmm.
where it's like you level up across this meter and like at each level you get like a different reward, and sometimes it's like new cards or something like that.
They did the same thing in Slay the Spire. After you would get like a certain amount or whatever, you could get a new card, and you can go into your like it'll just like the way it worked is you would get a new card in that deck's theme, and then when you get up to either a merchant or whatever, you could get that card now if you wanted to, and then build it that way as you're playing through the map.
So from what I'm able to see with this, it's more like you unlock that card and then that card is just in your deck. In that like that theme's deck.
Okay.
And then it's more about as you're going through the map, you can a lot of the points will let you add or remove a card. So you can
Okay.
then like maybe you have like a lower level card, you're like, this is just getting in my way at this point. You could remove it from your deck and then kind of addition by removal.
Okay.
But you get to pick at the beginning of each run. You pick a few things. You pick your 3 spells. And that's like one of the things you unlock across this so-called battle pass thing. You get to pick between 2 cards about which is going to be like your key card. I don't remember what they call it, but it's a card that if you beat an elite on the map, which is like a much tougher opponent, that card will then upgrade for the rest of the run. So I had one card in like my deck that was all about buffing, like buffing up your guys, buffing up your characters,
Hmm.
where its base thing is you put it down and the 2 cards that are next to it, whatever cards are adjacent, will get boosted by 1. And then any card you play after that is boosted by 1. Then when you upgrade it after you beat an elite, whenever you play that card, uh, every single one of your cards gets boosted by 1 on the playing field and in your hand and like in your deck, and then an additional +1 when you play it. So it's a lot more powerful when you beat an elite. So they
Okay.
make it worth it on a run to go for like the tougher opponents, even though it might seem like it's not the best decision when you're trying to get to the end.
There's also elites in Slay the Spire, and you can usually either get like another relic or whatever from it. Like you'll get a chance, like maybe you'll get 2 relics, like because you're doing this, or there's another bonus from doing it.
So it's okay. So based on what you're saying, this seems like gameplay wise maybe a little different, but it's one of those then. Like it's still one of those.
I mean, because of it, it's becoming more and more tempting to try myself, but
Right.
we'll see.
I finished the first map and the boss of the map, which was this big like ice dragon thing. And interestingly enough, I got so good with that deck at that point. Like I got the strategy down that the first time I got to it is able to I destroyed it. I owned it. I completely owned it.
All right.
Then I unlocked the second deck and a second map. And this deck, maybe I just didn't get it, but it just kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was all about doing bleeding damage to your enemy,
Ooh.
which is like you like put on a bleeding effect of 3, let's say, then for 3 turns it will lose 1 health, that card.
Mm.
And it seems like you were supposed to afflict a bunch of bleeding things on them, and then it will also buff certain cards in your deck, but the cards you start with really suck. And it almost seems like everything on the second map is designed to go against that. So I switched back to using my first deck on that map, and it's going way better now since I switched back to that deck.
All right.
So fuck that second one. It's working mostly well on mobile with a few exceptions. So one of the things will be like you come across a thing on the map and it's like, pick one of these cards to add to your deck. And as you can imagine, it's on a phone. I'm not gonna be able to see all the information for each card. So like you can hold down your thumb on a card and it'll like bring up more info on it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes instead of showing me more info, it just kind of picks that card. And then I'm just like, all right, I guess this is the card I have in my deck now. And other times when you get to, it's like one of those random event things where it's like, this thing happens, and then you can choose like gain a wound, but get this energy and shit like that. The actual text for that will just be like super like moving around, glitching and spazzing, and there's no way you can read it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also had trouble with when you need to like scroll down something, like scroll down text or scroll down a menu. It is like, I don't know if it's programmed for like PC sensitivity with a mouse. It just goes insanely slow. Like I'll be doing like a big swipe, and it's moving like a little tiny bit at a time.
All right.
But overall, I'm mostly enjoying it. You know, like I don't have experience with these types of games. That not like you have more experience than I do.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at it on the App Store right now.
Yeah, it's $9.99, I believe, on both mobile and Steam.
After 41 ratings, it's got a 3.7.
That seems a little low for what I would expect. But then again, I'm not an expert on this, and this is like a single player spin-off of the multiplayer thing that they have. So maybe like, I don't know, maybe it's like those people coming to it were expecting something different. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But
now I'm looking at Slay the Spire on the App Store now, and it's also $10. And when I had it on my Android, but I don't have that anymore, and I want to spend the $10 and do it again.
Could you? Well, no.
I mean, I have it on Xbox, which I can play it there, but it's nice on the go.
Yeah,
it's a good game. That's a good fucking game.
All right, Dave. Why don't you take us to this next little game?
So big thanks to Colin over here.
Thanks, Colin.
What was the studio again?
Well, so he wasn't actually from the publisher, but it's from it was published by Rogue Co. And he's the one that got in touch. He's like running their PR or something. I'm not entirely sure.
Either way, thank you, Colin.
Or it's from Rogue Games. It published Harlow. That's what we're talking about or about to. But he's from Zebra. I don't know. Thanks, Colin.
Colin was able to send us review copies for this little puzzle platformer named Harlow. And like right off the bat, there are some indie games that I look at and I feel like I would never play them. But like this one has like a nice, cute little aesthetic to it, and something about it just drew me in more. Like at first, it was like I don't know, but I looked at it more and I was like, you know, this could be like one of those like nice little short like interim games that like you just kind of like let loose on, and you're just kind of like relaxing. So you play as this little robot running through dispatched from this ship named Harlow, and you have to go and collect all these little power cores in each level on this planet. There's 4 different chapters, and as you're collecting, you're coming back, and the ship is like, "Oh, hey, you're doing a really good job. We need more energy though, because the entire ship is full of the humans cryogenically frozen, and they're looking for a sustainable planet to let loose on." And as you're going through, there's these other little like collectible things that you can get that when you bring them back to the ship, it takes them in and you're able to spend those and actually go around the ship and see what you can spend them on. These little decorations. You can get food, little machinery, lights. Like it's cute.
It's meant to be like you're decorating the ship for the party for when the humans wake up.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's very cute is a very good word.
And
it's very like lighthearted and kind of silly and quirky, but cute.
It's very cute, and like the little robot who's there as soon as you like come in from every level again, and as you're dropped off, he's just talking left and right about random stuff. And you go to the main computer who gives you information before you go out. And one of the things I remember is, yeah, they keep talking about food and all this stuff and how excited they are. Like I feel bad when they find out that they can't eat. I hope he doesn't know. Like
yeah, that's a big thing.
Yeah,
they keep talking about it, the two of them.
Loves food. But you go out on these little levels, and as this little robot, you are platforming through different sections that require jumps, that require you to move keys from one spot to another, like the keys in the shape of this ball that you have to like use your momentum to push up hills and get it into the right spot. You get 2 little jumps, and you're able to aim them in different directions. And until you touch the ground again, your jumps don't reset, or it takes a while for it to come back. So you have to somehow get from the beginning of the level to the end, avoiding all the obstacles, collecting the 3 power cores, and then make it to the tractor beam or whatever that brings you back up, and the robot that brings you back up to the ship.
I found that the whole jump thing is a very cool idea. It's different.
It is.
It took a little bit to get used to.
Definitely at first.
It's not like the natural like just jumping platformer.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit of a learning curve with that, but once you get it, like it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
we're gonna have next week. We're shooting for Friday or Saturday of next week. We're going to have a full video review of this where we go really in depth. We'll have a lot of gameplay footage there. So look out for that. But yeah, it's a cool little thing.
I'm like, it's definitely one of those that sticks out to me because I'm enjoying it a lot more than I ever thought I would, or like looking at it from this perspective ever more than I thought I like would have if I just saw it come up across on like the Play Store, or I have iPhone stuck on the brain. I'm just like at any marketplace. If I saw that, I'd be like, whatever. But
right, just to be clear, we're playing the Switch version. This came out on PC in March, and the Switch version like just came out
a few days ago.
So, yeah. We're playing the Switch version.
But it's nice. It's one of those good feel kind of games, I feel.
Yeah, we haven't finished it yet. We're running across a couple issues with that, but I don't want to get too deep into that here because hopefully that's getting fixed soon. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I said, we'll have that review up soon. It's overall a fun experience so far.
I think so.
All right, Dave. Let's talk about this big boy. Well, first off, I'm a little upset. I started the Quarry, and I spent $70 on it. I just bit the bullet.
Oh my god! Every time I hear that, it just hurts. It hurts so much.
It was the next. So I just bought it digitally on the PlayStation Store. Just downloaded it.
Oh, that's even worse. Ew.
The
went on sale.
Next day on Amazon for they're doing. I don't remember if they've done this before. Yeah, but they're like Prime Flash sales where it's like only today.
Like they do things like that. It's like, oh, for the next 14 hours, you can get this.
Yeah, and the Quarry was one of those things. It was either like $40 or $50.
Oh,
literally God. The very next day, and it's just like, Well, I bought it on PlayStation, so it's nothing. I can't. It's not like one of those things where I can reach out to Amazon and be like, "Hey, I just bought this and then it went on sale. Can you give me the sale price?" It was like, "No, it's too late. I spent the
That's
$70."
while we're on the topic before we continue on. Stray's coming out in a few days, right? And
Right.
I'm looking into it. I ended up upgrading my PS Plus to the extra, not the premium. I just want to be able to get the catalog to play the games. And I'm looking at it, and you can't download it yet. Like, it just is
Okay.
announced. So I look it up as I'm trying to figure out the information, and God, this pisses me off so fucking much.
Oh no.
Stray comes out July 19th. On
Right.
September fucking 20th, they're coming out with a physical edition. Oh,
Is it one of those like? Is it like a limited run or like a special deal they made?
nope.
It's just a straight up physical.
It's just that it's the same shit like Kenna, where it came out and then a few months later
Right, they did that.
there's like a little deluxe edition or whatever, but just release the physical games with when it comes out. And when you're telling me that you're spending $70 on a digital version of the Quarry with $70, God, and it's not even physical. Oh my God! And then
Wait, can you do it one more time? Thank you.
Oh my God, it's just God, as a like a straight up physical collector, it hurts. It's so gross. It's so scummy.
To make it even worse for you, it was like you see the $69.99 price tag, and someone's like, all right. And then with tax, it was $76.02.
Yep.
And it's like, we are so close to $100 for a video game.
$3/4 of $100 for, and what's this game? 6-8 hours?
Probably around there, I'd imagine.
Like
I only did the intro, but
I know people were like really hyping this up because this is like the closest thing since Until Dawn, but it doesn't fucking matter. An 8-hour cinematic movie type deal, $76 after tax. Granted, wherever you live, tax, whatever. But still,
it'll be different. But
I want to vomit. Oh my God.
Yeah, and again, like the only reason I did it at this price tag was because like this has gotten such good reviews. It's supposed to be like the most innovative of these ones. It's supposed to like,
Dylan,
push things
we're
forward.
The ones with the voices. We need to fight back. We need to be the ones that are like, no, not today, because if a game's coming out and it's $70 fucking dollars, and even if I'm excited for it, I'm fucking waiting. I don't even care if I have a gaming podcast to give information out to. I am not throwing my hard-earned money away at something like that.
Yeah, I have a problem where I need to play all these games now. Like I can't help it.
I want to as well, but I also like eating real food for dinner.
Oh, I also don't eat real food, so there is that.
Yeah. I had a casserole.
Sacrifices.
I had a casserole, and what'd you have?
What did I all right, this actually ties in really well. So I've been trying to, budget a little more these last few months, and I've been mostly doing good, but sometimes that means I have to buy those I don't remember it's like Baron something. They're these frozen deep dish pizzas.
Red Baron.
But you get Red Baron, yeah. And you get 2 of them, and it's like $3.99.
Yep.
So I'm like, so for $4, this can cover 2 of my lunches today, or two lunches for the week.
Uh-huh.
So that's a pretty good deal.
And I'm over here I made pasta tonight, and I can sustain this for like a day or two and like eat real food.
Pasta is actually a really good budget one if you're just straight up buying pasta and boiling it, because it's cheap.
Oh yeah, pasta, mac and cheese, that kind of stuff. It's great.
Yep. Anyway, the Quarry.
Get some of that late episode banter out.
Yeah, it's not even late episode. We're like mid episode. I'm doing the same thing that I did for the more veteran Offshore Gamescast fans. That I did with my girlfriend playing through House of Ashes, where we're doing like the couch co-op, which like I only played through the intro of this, but after doing House of Ashes, these games are like great for that. Sitting with a friend or a partner or a sibling or something, just having fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we each pick 4 characters. It's all about it. you're these camp counselors at Hackett's Quarry, and shit starts happening. So we only played through the intro, which I didn't even get to actually play because it was all about this character Laura, who happened to be one of the characters that my girlfriend picked.
Oh, it's
so
one of those kind of things.
Yeah, and this was like the intro, so it was like kind of like, you know, the whole setup. I will say it was it was pretty creepy. It was pretty good horror game material for an intro.
You playing with the lights off too?
Oh, always.
Good.
Always.
Good.
Always.
Even when it's a daytime game, we gotta have the lights off.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. Any type of like serious or horror game like this, it's always lights off.
Oh yeah.
And we have, even if it's daytime, we have the fucking the blackout curtains over the window, so we can still make it nice and dark.
Perfect.
So the intro, and I'm not gonna feel too bad about spoilers for the intro because it's literally the first hour of the game, as you're only playing as this one character. So you're playing as Laura and her boyfriend, who you don't control, but you're there with her boyfriend Max. You're trying to go to camp as counselors a day early. You're getting there a night early for whatever reason, to scope it out, they said, or something.
To fuck.
Maybe. I don't know. Max is driving. There was all right, so you tell me, because you know media better than I do. Gotcha. I took this as a Scott Pilgrim reference.
Okay.
But so he's lost, right? And she's like, so are we going to talk about this? And he's like, what? She's like, the L word. And he goes, lesbians?
Oh, there is no way that is 100% a Scott Pilgrim reference.
Okay, I was going to ask you if Scott Pilgrim was referencing something else when they did that.
To my knowledge, I don't think so, because when I hear that, my mind only thinks of Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, as soon as that happened, I said out loud, that's a Scott Pilgrim reference.
100%. No, the other L word, lesbians.
Right, yeah. They didn't do the second part, but
good.
So you're lost, and she picks to pull out the map to look at it, and her boyfriend Max is staring at it. Looks up. All of a sudden, there seems to be a person in the road. He swerves, crashes into the woods.
Cliche.
Yes, it is pretty cliche. He's trying to fix the car, and she's like, I'm gonna go see if we hit that person. And as she's doing this, you can see, like, in the background, this old lady in like a pajama thing, just like scurrying through the woods, and then disappears. And you like keep thinking you're seeing it. So like as you're going through the woods, it'll be like you're controlling your flashlight to like look over the woods as you're walking through, and as you do, like she'll appear quickly in the light, and then you look back and it's gone. It's like that type of thing. Shit happens. You get scared. You run back to the car. I'm not doing the whole deep dive here, but where it gets kind of interesting is you get back to the car. He fixes it. He's like, all right, we can go. So you get in the car, you start it, and all of a sudden this dude appears in your window. It's a very off-putting police officer. Very creepy police officer.
Oh, so just like a modern-day police officer.
It's no, because he wasn't. Well, he was being an asshole, so I guess, yeah. So I guess there is, yeah. It was he was like a very anxious asshole, and it like he tows you out, but he's being a real dick and like real creepy. He has her get out of the car, but the boyfriend has to stay in the car, so he can show them on the map saying like, you're going to this motel tonight. You're not going to the camp. You're going to the motel. And she's like, okay, but like, what? We just want to, like, they know we're coming. He's like, you're going to the motel, and he has like a couple.
Did you just assume my destination? Excuse me.
So I mean, he basically told them like, you have no choice. You're staying the night at the motel. You're going to go to the camp in the morning. Obviously, they don't listen. This is all said and done. They go to the camp. It's all locked up because she just left a message. They weren't actually expecting them. And she's trying to find a way in. You go to the cellar doors and you can like look through, and you see like a person that seems to be kind of like fucked up, and then they scurry off. Cliche. You break into the cellar. Long story short, whatever this person was, you find like a bloodied collar that says Ian on it. And I think it's just from what I can gather, I think you saw through the cellar door this person creature thing ripping off that collar. They attack and seemingly maybe kill your boyfriend. And as you're trying to drag him out, like up the stairs, the cop comes up behind you and injects you in the neck. You pass out, and he's like, "You're supposed." No, it was does this look like the fucking motel?
Welcome to the motel, son.
So clearly, there's some shady shit going on.
It does.
I tried to give the Sparks Notes version, but it was like, yes, these games are always going to be like horror cliche like, but it was a good intro. It wasn't like my problem with Until Dawn was kind of how campy it was, and I know that's what they were going for, but it was like too campy for me to take seriously.
Even Man of Medan was like, guys, figure it out.
Yeah, I didn't play Man of Medan, but I've seen some videos, and that one looks to be like the worst of them.
Little Hope was better, but it still had some really bad parts.
So this, like I said, only did the intro, but it was well acted. My only issue was maybe like the lip sync was maybe not perfect.
Okay.
But I tend to, for whatever reason, really notice that in games when it's like not lining up perfectly.
Same.
It stands out to me. So
I
was having that issue. And other than that, like very well acted, not super campy, was legitimately creepy. Like it was like, you know, I'm kind of in. I'm in on it. Excited to play more. Just did the intro. I won't do like a whole story recap every time because I don't want to spoil the whole thing. But, but yeah, that's the Quarry. That's games.
We should start rating games off of their price tag. So it's like, out of the $76, yeah, I'm giving this game about like a 33 right now.
That's not a bad idea for like a segment or something.
And it's like maybe something bad happens. It's like, oh, I brought this game from a 33 down to like a 28. I don't know about this.
Let's put that idea in our back pocket.
All right.
I like that. I actually like legitimately kind of like that.
All right. It's been trademarked, motherfuckers. Stay away.
Yeah, it's a yeah. What he said. Dave, we got some news this week.
We do. We have a good amount of news.
It's actually a pretty decent amount of news.
I think so. And then you throw in some of your stuff, some of my stuff.
That's exactly how this works.
Right? And maybe you throw in some of bullshit for me too.
All right. I'm going to start it off with a real quick one. Real quick. Wayward Strand. We've talked about the game before. It was at I don't remember which of the Summer Game Fest things it was at, but it was at one of them. Very story-focused narrative indie game that got delayed from July 21st to September 15th, so just a couple months. But the devs put out a statement just trying to be like consistent with their whole anti-crunch culture and not like, you know, making it trying to keep the stress levels as low as possible for a small studio trying to launch a game.
Yeah. That's good though.
Yeah. This is going to be the first time I could say this with a news story. I like this. Go to offshoregamescast.com/news for the full story.
Wowie
the whole thing there. We have like an article.
That's exciting.
That is exciting.
I don't know if this is exciting or not.
No. Oh, wait. Never mind. This is not the one we're doing. But okay, go ahead. I thought we were doing the next one.
No. That's definitely not exciting. So, ReedPop, they're a big company. They run and set up conventions like PAX, EGX, Comic-Con. Apparently, in 2023, they're going to be bringing E3 back. Why?
Yeah, that's kind of where, like, if they're bringing it back, that just, like, from ReedPop running those types of things, that makes it seem like they're going to lean even harder into that 1 year, like the last year before COVID, where they had PAX, and it was like trying to lean into being more a fan event. Like, as a fan, you can buy a pass to go.
I mean, that's what it feels like, because after walking through PAX itself, like, I don't see what else E3 could bring to the table besides like a physical in-person thing where half of it is you're shopping.
Right. Like how at some point this is just another PAX, right? It
Yeah,
might as well be called PAX E3 instead of PAX East or PAX Prime.
literally.
So, I don't know. It's we were lucky enough to grow up during the golden era of E3, and I don't foresee that ever happening again.
No, because we're in the early stages, moving into soon to be the golden era of Summer Games Fest, and that's all I need. We have Games Fest and we have Game Awards, and that is all I need.
And I would even say at this point, like at this point in my life, and maybe it's because like, hey, I'm not a fucking kid or a teenager anymore. I don't have unlimited time like I used to.
Yeah,
It's I almost prefer the state of plays or the Nintendo Directs where it's like it's only half an hour, but they're not bullshitting. They're jumping from game to game to game to game to game and showing me everything in that half hour.
yeah,
But there was something special about like we're gonna have this whole weekend. I've vivid memories of like setting up on the couch with my little brother and we would have like notebooks and we'd be like taking notes on the games that we liked and stuff.
yeah.
It was
Oh,
yeah.
it's just like, hey, you coming over? E3's coming. We're gonna get some Wendy's. We're gonna chill on the couch.
Yeah, we that was like one of the last years of it being like that when we did that.
That was when they brought out the Borderlands 2 DLC 5, the story in between Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3, and in the perfect 2-hour window between conferences, I brought over my copy and I was playing Borderlands
Yeah.
2, and I sped through on my level 72 character. I just sped through the story, and in that perfect 2-hour window I completed that whole DLC, and you came back out and were like, "All right, ready for the next conference?" I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah. You see, I actually completely forgot we did that. That was a good day.
That was good. That was fun.
Yeah, and it felt like also I don't know, like the last couple years, it feels like everything just fucking leaks. Like
Yeah,
everything. And like on one hand, I'm like, yeah, I want to know it all. So like let
but
me
there's
see
that
it. But on the
special
other hand,
feeling of like you're sitting down in front of the TV, you don't know anything, and it's like you have a present opening up.
yeah, especially when it's like something you really wanted and then
Yeah.
like you had no idea it was coming, or half the time it's the things you didn't even know you wanted, and then they
hmm
show it and you're like, holy shit, that was awesome.
I feel like the annoying
But
thing too is that we are also more so now than ever. We're like on the hunt for it. We're as observant as we
yeah,
can be. We're on almost every single website. We're on Twitter. We're keeping up with everything to a point where it's impossible not to.
yeah, that is true. We are at a very different point with our gaming, I don't know, careers? I don't know what to call it. Lives?
Yeah.
Like it just
I mean,
yeah,
it's
where
turning into a career at this point.
honestly
To the point where I have to
honestly,
tell myself I have to play a game for this week. I have to have something to talk
yeah.
about. And that like it brings it down. It's just like I have to play this. I'm not having fun. I'm just playing this to play it.
Yeah, it's some weeks can be rougher than others with it. But
Yeah.
hey, who knows where it will end up leading. I don't know. Do you know?
I mean, some good games are coming out the second half of the year, and those are going to be hyped to talk about. One of those
Yeah,
coming out in
that's
just 5 days.
6, 4, 5. What's coming out of 5? Oh, is this? It's okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah. All right. We got a gameplay reveal for Lord of the Rings Gollum, which I'm pretty excited for.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Uh, so yeah, this is the stealth Gollum game. One thing I didn't know that I learned as I was looking into it that I was under the assumption that it was before Fellowship of the Ring. It's actually during Fellowship of the Ring.
Interesting. Okay.
Like kind of how like because if you like this is not like based on the movie. It's based on the book and like their interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
But as a big movie fan, Gollum is basically like stalking them throughout the whole movie. So it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be kind of like, I guess, covering that.
Okay.
But it had the gameplay trailer had like very typical stealth elements that like, you're hiding in shadows or in the tall grass or you're throwing things to distract enemies, or they had like it switches to first person. You can go underwater and then you have like a breathing meter.
Hmm.
And we got to look. Gandalf's in the game. We got to look at
Oh,
Gandalf. He looked like an old man with a beard and a gray hat.
that lines up.
Yeah. There were a couple other.
Can I say?
Yes.
I'm not like I've seen the Lord of the Rings movies. I think it's cool. I'm not the biggest fan. There are. I don't. It's not in New York, but in Connecticut, there are those lines when you're driving down roads where it becomes a dotted portion, and like if a car's going too slow, you can go around them.
Yeah.
On just like a regular road, and there's so many signs when it stops doing that where it says "Do not pass," and all my brain can think of is "You shall not pass," and that's on my daily drive. I'm just like, "Yep, all right, Gandalf."
And then he dies.
Yep.
But yeah, as even if this, like, I'm not gonna sit here and say this looks like some sort of incredible game, but as a big fan of those movies, I'm like, I want it, you know?
I'm gonna
give me
play
anything Lord of the Rings, and I want it.
I'm gonna play it, but personally, just give me another Middle Earth game.
Yeah, I would play another one of those, especially if they kind of clean up a lot of the problems that the last one had.
Yeah, like throwing microtransactions if you want the true ending.
Yeah, that's.
Once I got credits, I was like, all right, I'm done.
Give me another puke noise, Dave. We need a soundboard with that one.
Bruh. Speaking of puke noise.
Oh, come on. I know you're excited.
Skull and Bones is coming out November 8th. It's got a single-player journey, and it's going to have multiplayer. Wow.
I could feel the excitement for Skull and Bones.
And
it's happening. It's happening. I can't wait to play it with you.
I curse the Singapore government.
It just, I don't know. Are people actually excited for this?
Somehow, I don't get it. What single player journey?
So you from what I understand, again, I'm no Skull and Bones expert, but you captain your own ship, and it seems like, based on screenshots I saw, I didn't watch the whole thing they had, but it seems like there's like a story going on. Captain your own ship, and you can choose, like, you like customize all the different parts to it and stuff. And
okay, you're only telling me the shit that everyone already knows. What single player journey? You're just going around destroying ships in one of the worst like side parts of the Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, listen, I don't know how deep this story is. I didn't watch things. I'm not gonna play this game. Well, I am gonna play it with you.
What an absolute waste of money from this dumbass company.
All right, let's shift it now to a not waste of money from a not dumbass company. We got a Bowser Lego set that was announced.
We do like Legos here.
We do like Legos. Did you actually see what this thing looks like?
I have seen pictures, yeah.
It's just a really large Bowser.
But I mean, that's the thing when it comes to these Lego sets. The bigger they are, the more detailed and like actual they can look towards the thing. Like I walk around Target and I see like the Pokemon Lego ones. Like I have some behind me, the small ones, but even some of the bigger ones, you can definitely tell that it's just a bunch of Legos put together.
Right.
But like when you look at something like that, I'm like, oh right, this isn't looking like Legos anymore.
No, it's so if you think about this, it is just Bowser. It's not like a castle, and it's 2,807 pieces for just Bowser. I mean, there are a couple, like, there's like the little like flame tower things or something like that, but it's mostly just Bowser.
I mean, the cool thing is that when they're that much money and they have that many pieces, they have the thought put into where they also do things. It's not just a thing to look at. Like, you can like mess around with parts and like there's cool things they can do.
Yep. That's the thing where it's like kind of getting back into Legos over the last year or two.
Yeah.
That has impressed me the most with them is like when you get a cool set, like, yeah, you can like flip certain things. Or I have the big Mario cube that like opens up and flips out with the Super Mario 64 levels. It's really cool.
It's not so much as, all right, I'm done building it. I'm not having fun anymore. Like,
right. It's like you can interact with it. Sometimes I will pick up that Mario cube still and just like open up and just kind of like mess around with the little things. It's like, this is so cool. And then I put it away again. But
I mean, I have the Batmobile, and I'm just like, all right, the cockpit, like whatever, opens up like that. The door thing opens up, and like they have like other like guns rotate out, and like you could spin the plume, the exhaust for the rocket. And I have the typewriter that I'm still working on, and that like obviously it's not a real typewriter, but you can hit the buttons, you can touch the. It's fun.
Yeah. It makes it more like less like you're just building a little Lego thing, and more like you're building a contraption of some kind.
But still looking like Legos, which makes it better.
Yes, in a good way. Exactly.
Yeah.
So about 2,800 pieces. It'll be $269.99. It comes out October 1st, 2022. I want it. Like I said, I'm budgeting. I don't know if I can spend $270 on a Lego set.
You know, when the time
But
comes, you're gonna be like, I bought it.
We'll see if things are going good. Like, I want to buy a fucking Xbox right now.
Yeah.
I want the Steam Deck. I do.
Yeah.
There's things I want.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pre-order a Stranger Things shirt from Hot Topic.
Okay, that's all right. All right. It's understandable.
See, there's things. And I'm fucking going to 2 weddings this month. That costs money.
We're material girls.
Sure.
We
Material Worlds.
Oh, we got another release date. The Skating Sim Session finally got a release date of September 22nd, 2022. I don't know how to feel about this, because I remember when Skater XL and like Session and Skatebird were like, when the big beginning resurgence of skateboarding games was coming out, I didn't know what to think about it, because this was off of my love of skate and the newfound love of the Tony Hawk remakes. Fuck you to hell, Blizzard, for ruining 3 and 4 remake, you sacks of shit.
I agree.
But like, I look at it, I feel like I will want to try it. If I hope it's still coming to Game Pass or whatever it is. But I don't know. I don't know if any other skating game could just be good enough as Skate or those to make me actually want to give even 5 minutes to it. Because it's like, I have these. Why would I want to do that?
Yeah, this is also very interesting with Skate 4 happening.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so I don't know. We'll see. If it's a good skateboarding game, like that's all I need. I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Like,
I didn't know it was supposed to come to Game Pass.
I mean, it's, from what I remember, it was an Xbox mainly Xbox thing. So I would assume Game Pass if it is whatnot. So I would hope so.
We have a way to figure this out.
You gotta bang 2 rocks together, and it'll tell us.
It says game preview on Xbox.
Yeah, maybe it'll come
the
to Game
free
Pass.
Trial.
It's still like 2 months away.
I can't tell. I hope it comes to Game Pass. Then I could just try it with no regrets.
Exactly.
All right, let's talk about this really weird Hideo Kojima situation.
I looked into it for like the quickest second, and I said, "What dumbass shit is the internet up to now?" And I just quickly went away.
Like, I couldn't help but talk about this because of how far it went.
Yeah.
So, the former Prime Minister of Japan.
Kojima didn't kill the former Prime Minister of Japan.
No, let's make that clear. He didn't. That's
the internet thinks that Kojima murdered the former Prime Minister of Japan.
Yeah. So Shinzo Abe was assassinated, and they got the guy that did it. And in the little videos you can see of this happening, I guess the guy kind of has a similar haircut, like that Kojima haircut look.
What, he had glasses or whatever, so it's just...
I think that's the only thing.
Oh, don't forget that while he was in the middle of killing him, he goes, "I will get Silent Hill."
That's this. From what all right, this is the timeline that I understand. The assassination happened, which obviously like bad. And then someone made this connection on 4chan as like a joke, like, haha, look, it's like Hideo Kojima. And then it kind of started to spread as a meme. And then Damien Ryu, I don't know. He's a French politician. I don't know how to say his name. he's like a far right politician, and he started to actually spread this as fact
Why?
that Hideo Kojima did it. And then it started to get reported on like in like some European countries that like Hideo Kojima's the murderer.
Uh-huh.
To the point where Kojima Productions had to put out a statement like, we do not condone the spread of false information, and we are looking into pursuing legal action against those spreading this info. Like, you know, one of those statements.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what timeline are we in where it got that far that people were actually believing it was Hideo Kojima?
That shit. And I don't know if they were photoshopped, but you see the pictures as well of like, what was it, Castro? Like, there was a lot of like pictures of him like posing with like a picture of Castro, or like holding up a bag, like a tote bag with Castro's face on it. It's either Castro or like Che Guevara, some like revolutionary and whatnot. And that also had it spread more.
It's still like
it
if it was Hideo Kojima, we would
sense.
know. We would know if it was Hideo Kojima. That wouldn't just be like a cover up, you know?
And he wouldn't use a gun or whatever. He would do some Kojima ass shit.
That is also true. It wouldn't be that basic.
Yeah, no, that's not Kojima. That alone.
Shinzo Abe would have to like unplug the microphone and then plug it into something else and then put in a certain code sequence, and then someone else would have to interact with it, and then it would work.
And it had to do with peanut butter.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But like, it's just, it's like obviously a shitty situation, but it is like, and I hesitate to use the word laughable when we're talking about an assassination, but it is kind of laughable how far this went, to the point of people thinking it was really Hideo Kojima.
The internet is stupid.
Like,
French
is.
Politicians are stupid.
I don't understand. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. But this is the world we live in.
It sure is. And I'm going to have another story about that in a little bit.
I want to
go ahead.
I want to do both of these news stories back to back because I'm so hyped about these next two.
You could do them back to back. They're pretty tied into each other.
So I was a big fan of Terminator Resistance when it came out, and these both are very akin to that. So we will be getting a new open world Terminator survival game that got announced. It takes place between Judgment Day and John Connor forming the Resistance. And Judgment Day, I know you're a sack of shit who have not put a time away to actually watch T2 yet, but oh my god, it is so good. T2 is amazing. It will be an original story similar to how Terminator Resistance was, but this isn't going to be connected to that. But something about these like 80s like modern day video games coming up, it's like I'm so in. I am so in.
It feels random, but like
it
I don't know,
it's fitting
happening
so well. Like, Terminator Resistance was coming out, and I remember looking at it going, like, what is this most basic, like, shitty FPS, like, going through? And I 100%ed. I got every single achievement in that game. I had way too good of a time playing that. And also, speaking of that, the people, Tayod, who made Terminator Resistance, they revealed gameplay for their new RoboCop game, RoboCop Rogue City. And oh my god, I'm so excited. It's going to be an FPS. They're using Peter Weller's likeness, which, oh god, when the end of it came and dead or alive, you're coming with me. Oh god, I want it. That'll be coming June 2023. I thought Terminator Resistance was better than like what it looked like when I finally played it. And looking at the gameplay for RoboCop, it looks simplistic, very similar to Terminator Resistance, but also like I cannot wait. Its source material is just perfect. I want it. Gimme a review code. Gimme.
Maybe we'll get one. I don't know. We're at the point where we're getting those. So.
Taeyeon, listen to me. I wanna review it. I'm excited. Please.
When I send them an email, I'll just include the voice clip of that.
Dead or alive, I'm getting this review code.
piggybacking along this, I put out the question on Twitter of, we're starting to get some movie video game tie-ins with these and, some other stuff that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But if there was a movie that the people think would work well as a video game now, we got a couple responses.
Mamma Mia.
No, that was not one of the responses.
Damn.
Is that a rhythm game?
Oh, it could be. I was thinking like a slasher, like top down ARPG.
Listen, all right. I don't like musicals. If you just took musicals and made them rhythm games for me to play through, I would suddenly love musicals.
Oh, I would. Oh my God. West Side Story, Hello Dolly, Moulin Rouge, Mamma Mia, Burlesque. I would play so many. Oh, I would play them all.
They should do that. What are they waiting on? That seems like an easy,
I would buy it.
Yeah, just get the license to make it and then just throw some button taps in there. Bada bing, bada boom.
Oh my God. Gimme.
Anyway, friend of the show, welcome to Game Corp, another gaming podcast at Game Corp Pod on Twitter, said, every great idea I thought of has turned out to already have been made into god-awful games. That's fair. But, and I think you'll appreciate this, I didn't because I have no experience with this, but you do. What about an Ocean's 11 game? It'd be like a mix of Hitman and Payday, but no guns or killing, just wits and planning and improvising with your friends.
I like that. Ocean's 11 is a really good fucking movie.
I don't think anything about Oceans or the number 11, so I haven't seen it.
It's a really good fucking movie. I
should watch it.
It all just comes together, and it's like they're doing the thing. Like it's one of those where it's like they're talking about the plan, and then at the end they're done. Like you're watching the plan happen real time. It's sad. It's so satisfying, and even just George Clooney is just it's so good.
We got another response from another friend of the show, the Starter Quest podcast at Starter Quest on Twitter. They said an open world Men in Black game would be cool. Give you crazy gadgets, but emphasize stealth and leaving no trace up to and including mind wiping.
There was a time
that was like, that's a good idea. Like an open world city almost. And like this alien shit happens. And then you also have to make sure you wipe the minds of the people that were around to see it. That I kind of like that.
If they did like an LA Noire, but made it like Men in Black, that would be incredible. Oh man, there was a time where they were doing Men in Black on cable over and over, and I watched it over and over and over again. I love Men in Black. Like this past year or two has just re-spiked my love for it, and I can just rewatch those movies all the time.
They're really good movies.
Yeah, except for the new one.
I haven't seen it, but yeah, it's supposedly really bad.
Yeah.
But like this is the thing, we've talked about this before. I think we even talked about it on the podcast, but it's almost frustrating how many movies could be really good video games and how often they fuck it up.
That's because the fucking publishers and these huge companies are just rushing it to come out at the same time so they can make all this money, and they're fucking morons because they don't know how games work. And if they just took their time, almost did an original story, or just did something smart with the already established characters and just put time and effort into it, then it would be great.
Yeah. Well said. All right. I got a couple news stories for you. One is frustrating. The other one is kind of cool. Dr. Disrespect has put out a look at his game that he's making, Project Moon, this PvPvE multiplayer shooter. I don't give a fuck about the game. I don't give a fuck about Dr. Disrespect. I don't respect him at all. I want to talk about this because, all right. First off, this is so to play test the game, right? Because it's not out. To play test it, you have to purchase an NFT.
Gross.
And then you can play test the game. Meanwhile, aren't playtesters supposed to be paid by the company to do that as like a job?
I mean, as a QA, tester, yes, but if this is just like a closed play test, that's it's more of just him using his fame to bring in people,
right?
and just
And the
kind of
fact that you
do
have
the
to
work
buy an
for him.
NFT to get in on it. Yeah,
Gross.
it's just, I don't know, everything about that story I just saw was like,
NFT,
just,
more like no fucking thank you.
That's not bad. That's pretty good.
I'm getting wittier. I'm getting my second win.
You're leveling back up after what happened earlier. Oh, good thing. Kirby's Dream Buffet just got announced. This is a party game, almost looking very Fall Guys like. But it's not. So Fall Guys is almost always like race to the finish first or just survive. So from what I saw in the trailer, you're never actually running around as your Kirby character. You're like in a ball and always rolling.
Super Monkey Ball?
You're not controlling. You're not like tilting the level, but you're moving your Kirby around as this little ball like rolling around
Kirby
against
is a
other
ball.
people. Kirby. You're not running around Kirby's feet. I'm saying. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Kirby can roll. He's a ball.
Yeah, so he's just rolling, which he maybe should have done in the video games from the very beginning instead of walking around on his stupid little feet.
Got a mouthful. I don't know.
Wow, all your wit is gone. You lost it again.
I used it already.
But this seems to not so much be about finishing first, but about eating the most food throughout the level.
Okay.
Comes out summer 2022.
Sounds like a version of Katamari.
It's kind of like if you took Katamari and Fall Guys and almost a little bit from it was a very quick trailer, so there's only so much you can get from it. But it's like if you took Katamari, Fall Guys, and some minigame aspects of Mario Party and put Kirby on it.
Okay.
I'm interested.
I
don't know how much I'm like necessarily into it, but I'm like, I enjoyed Fall Guys. You're putting a Kirby spin on that, like, all right. Good year for Kirby, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know how to feel about this. So, a job listing has been posted for Apex Universe FPS incubation title. So, the possibility of a single-player Apex game, which is something that I've wanted for a long time now, and, like, hearing about it pisses me off, because fuck you and make Titanfall 3 already. But
yeah, I don't think we're getting that anytime soon.
Oh my god. Like, it's the kind of thing where it's like, it's like, oh, Darth Vader is in Fortnite, and then people watch Star Wars, and it's like, oh my god, they have the Fortnite guy in this movie. It's just like, oh, look, hey, the Apex universe. No, it's the Titanfall universe. Titanfall came first. Titanfall's better. Fuck you. But, like, Apex feels good to play. There are good things about Apex. I don't know what they would do or how they would do a story single player thing, but it would be very liked by me if they did so.
I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, I just imagine a single player Apex game being just like the campaign in Titanfall 2, except there's no mechs.
Yeah, but
like that's it.
Just make Titanfall 3.
I mean, yeah, Titanfall 3 would be excellent.
Oh my god,
they are all in on Apex.
Yeah.
All right, Dave. Bayonetta 3. It's happening for real. It has a release date of October 28th, 2022. We're just a few months away from this game finally coming out after years of people thinking it just wasn't even real anymore. People apparently got upset on Twitter. I don't know if you saw this. No. Platinum Games has to put out another tweet responding to this, being like, calm down, people. This is still a very sexy game. There's a new mode we had for the trailer called Naive Angel Mode that makes it a little less sexy to make it a little more appropriate for people of all ages. But you cannot put that mode on and it will still be a very sexy game as Bayonetta is.
As soon as people are like, hey, here's an option, they're like, are you serious? Are you kidding me? No. I'm like, hey, just to remind you, you don't have to. It's like, well, it shouldn't be like that at all. How dare you give Dark Souls an easy mode? Bayonetta should be always sexy. It's like, It's an option. Go fuck yourself.
And I think we also need to just kind of, as society, maybe reach a point where we understand that not just video games, not every video game, not every TV show, not every movie is designed specifically for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you get what I'm saying?
Especially after something that has so many releases, a creator wants more people to experience it.
Yeah. Like that option was not made for us. Not that we're like, we're only in it for the sexy Bayonetta, but you get what I'm saying? We don't need an option to make it less sexy. But anyway, it's the game comes out October 28th. I'm excited. They showed some different gameplay stuff going on in the trailer that I am kind of into. So we'll see. I'm excited.
All right. I'll play it. It won't be a day one for me, but I'll play it.
There's something like I can't even sit here and say that I love the Bayonetta games. I enjoy them, but then there was something about like I don't know, Bayonetta 2 happened. I was like, yeah, like I like this. And then Bayonetta 3 is like starting to come out. I'm like, yeah, I'm excited for this. Even though I can't sit here and say like I'm a huge fan. I don't know, there's just something
Yeah.
about them.
They're just crazy things happen, big set pieces. That's the only thing I think about when I think Bayonetta.
And Bayonetta.
Bayonetta. Bayonetta. Oh my god, so much.
Yeah.
So that's coming out. We got a game that's reportedly been delayed. Apparently, the GoldenEye 007 remake is pretty much almost done, but unfortunately, to the continued war going on with Ukraine, they have put it off. Which every time this comes up, please do not give a fuck about anything else but your fucking safety.
Yeah, of course. And so GoldenEye, is this I can't remember. Is this an Xbox thing? This report this was never officially announced, so I guess wasn't this an Xbox thing? Am I crazy?
I don't know. I mean, it was never actually announced. So if it is one of those where it's almost done, I feel like it would just be like, hey, by the way, in like a month, we're getting this.
Yeah, like it makes me feel like I don't know why I'm connected this to Xbox. Maybe I'm just completely making that up.
I mean, didn't Rare make it?
Yeah, so maybe that's where I'm getting this from.
Yeah,
like maybe it's still like the rights and everything is all in there.
maybe.
But this is with it being like almost done, and then obviously like the war is happening. Like yes, like you said, that takes priority. It makes me wonder if this was meant for, like if Xbox was going to do this as like out now, like one of those things,
Or like maybe have had it shown during their conference, but like,
right?
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Company of Heroes 3. I don't know. We're not really big RTS guys, but this felt noteworthy enough to talk about. Got a release date. It's coming November 17th, and it has 2 different campaigns. The North African Operation is sort of like a classic RTS thing. But then they have the Italian Dynamic campaign that's all about making different choices and dialogue things that take you to different branching paths throughout the story. But I don't know, Company of Heroes is a big RTS thing, and it's been like 10 years since the last one, so RTS fans rejoice.
Does nothing for me.
Yeah, not really me either.
This is interesting though. Supermassive, the dev behind the most recent Quarry, they've been bought by Nordisk Games, who owns Avalanche Studios, the Just Cause studio, and they said that pretty much all they had to say was we look forward to helping them along with whatever projects they have going and like seeing what their future is.
I mean, as long as their whole thing is just like, hey, we'll give you a bit of a bigger budget to make these games and we'll just take a cut of the money, but keep doing your thing, then like I can't see it being a bad thing.
I mean, if they're going to continue out with more of these dark picture games, they definitely could use that bigger budget.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, if it's just those games, but like looked and acted better, then like those could be insanely good games.
Absolutely. Or maybe do some other ones that aren't just horror.
That too, but it doesn't seem like they're getting away from that anytime soon.
No.
I got one more thing that happened just today, the day that we're recording this. A new indie studio, Spiralbound Interactive, announced their first game, You Will Die Here Tonight. And it's kind of a cool looking thing. It has very clear Resident Evil inspirations to like it's a top down kind of like isometric game, and you control these 6 members of this unit. Tell me if this sounds familiar. Investigating an abandoned mansion that are full of these zombie-like creatures.
Is this an offshoot of Sackboy?
Exactly. Like it's
okay. Oh, so this is Little Big Planet 4. Nice.
Yeah. Yep. Also known as You Will Die Here Tonight.
I love that subtitle.
Little Big Planet 4, You Will Die Here Tonight.
If they came out with that, day one for me.
Okay, so this is where it gets interesting. It's basically it looks like a top-down retro, but like Resident Evil game. But when you start getting like cornered by enemies, it quickly transfers to a first-person like arcade shooter thing. We gotta like shoot the enemies FPS style. Another cool thing is there's 6 members of the unit that are investigating this place, and they all kind of have their own motives and things like that. But so like an old Resident Evil, it's like it's survival. Like ammo is hard to find, shit like that. As one of your characters dies, you pick up with the next character, like that previous character's progress is saved, but from what I understand, like the ammo they picked up will be gone, and you have to try and pick it up from there and living with this character with the past character's decisions that they made, and then you have to try and like make it work for that character. It's kind of like a unique concept, like a cool spin on an old style game.
That was cool.
Yeah, it has a kind of striking art style to it, where it's like it's. I'm not considering to say it's like a pretty game, but it's an interesting looking game.
Okay.
But yeah, go to offshoregamescast.com/news. You can see the full trailer and a quote from the creative director and all sorts of fun stuff.
Only on our website.
That's it. You can't find it anywhere else on the internet.
Coming to an offshoregamescast.com near you.
They're all the internet is near everyone. That's a very first world person thing to say.
It's also a very scary thing to say.
Yeah. We're done with news.
Through that internet, we get notable game releases.
We got quite a few that this feels like the week where now it's like every week there's going to be something.
Yeah, and there's 4 out of all 4 of these, there's 4 of them that I want to play.
Yeah, I want to play every single one of these games.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's start it off.
Who's going here? Who's going first?
Let's flip a coin. I choose tails.
I choose heads. Do you even have a coin?
No, I went first, so I win. So, coming July 14th, we got Escape Academy, which is, I'm super hyped for this game. It's basically like an escape room type deal. You're going through different sections, and I love that shit. And I just want it now. It'll be coming out on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PC.
That's out today, Dave. Today.
It is out today. Well, it is also out today because it's 3 minutes past midnight.
Yeah, and it's out today for the people listening to this. Unless they hacked my laptop and have access to the recording.
Oh, shit.
Which, at that point, if you're hacking my laptop just to get early access recording to the Offshore Gamescast, then like I kind of like that.
Just don't.
They're a super fan.
A Supermassive fan.
Maybe. They might not be. All right, we got then we got a big day on July 19th.
Yeah, we do.
Starting with Endling, Extinction is Forever. That's the kind of like side scrolly, I don't know, maybe a puzzle game. I don't want to quite call it a platformer. It's kind of like a puzzle stealthy game where you play as this fox with her cubs, and you are like the last of the foxes, and your decisions and the choices you make may kill some of those cubs. And obviously you
Mm-hmm.
don't want that. You don't want extinction to be forever for these fox. So that's coming July 19th on PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC.
Ooh, very excitedly, and this is what I'm going to be playing first, is Stray. Coming out the same day, July 19th. Very excited. Coming PS4, PS5, and PC. Ugh. I want to
Yeah,
play a
it
little
feels
kitty cat.
it must be like, is it like 2 years at this point when we first saw Stray?
I don't even know. Time is just such a fucking
Yeah,
paradox.
it makes no sense. But it's this one feels like the big like it almost it starts to like cross the line of like, I know it's an indie game, but it starts to like not feel like one.
It depends on how much it's getting marketed, to which PlayStation has been
Yeah.
throwing it all out there because one, who doesn't like cats, and two, this just seems
Uh-huh.
like a pretty fun game.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it.
To which, if you did upgrade to the new PlayStation Plus, you will be getting it for free, pretty much.
Yep, which I need to do that. Then finally, also on July 19th, we got As Dusk Falls coming on Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and PC, which was that I don't really know how to describe the art style. It's like still frames kind of these
Yeah.
arts of characters, but it also seems to be going for like you can play with someone else and you each pick your characters and you make those decisions, kind of like a Supermassive game,
Mm-hmm.
but not horror driven. It looks cool. It looks really cool.
It will be coming to Game Pass too, so that's how I'll be playing it.
Yes. Look at us playing games on Game Pass and PlayStation, whatever. PlayStation really fucking, Jesus Christ, they made it so confusing.
Yeah, they knocked the ball off on this one. They didn't do that good of a job.
No, there's the plus and the extra and the premium and how the hell are you supposed to differentiate between what is better than the other?
I was literally doing a research the other day. I literally typed into Google, what version do I need to play Stray? And it literally just said premium or extra. And I said, all right, extra's cheaper. I'm doing that one.
All right. So yeah, that actually will help me. I just know I need to get extra now.
Yeah, there's like an upgrade you can do. It costs like $4 to upgrade to from my plan to that one.
And is that still then like a yearly charge, or is it charging you every month now?
3 months, I think.
Okay. All right. I don't know.
It depends on what subscription you already have, I think.
They fucking made it so confusing.
Yeah.
All right, Dave. This is one of our longest episodes in a good while. Wow. Oh, wow.
I'm sleepy.
I took that more as you weren't yawning and you were serenading me.
I mean, since we're in banter, if anyone wants to feel good, I got accepted to a school that I applied to, so that's fun.
Woohoo! Congratulations to Dave. Everyone tweet. Are you at Dave Offshore?
I'm not even signed into that Twitter on this phone. I completely forgot about that.
Then tweet to at Offshore GC. Congratulations, Dave.
Yay! Woo-hoo! I'm gonna have less time again.
Yeah, that's I don't have anything. I'm doing another side podcast project thing I'm working on, and it's just like there's these things I keep getting excited about, and then also it's like, man, where do I get the time?
And now let me balance my social life, love life, full-time job, and schooling all at the same time. Oh, did I forget a podcast? Yeah, I did. Jesus,
it's like fucking yeah. It's rough.
Can they invent that thing where we don't need sleep yet? Oh no, it's too expensive. It's called cocaine. I can't.
It's or I'll one up you. Maybe we shouldn't have to work our lives away just to be able to afford a very basic life.
Yeah. Biden.
Yep. He did this. He created this system.
Oh, I mean, we're getting free internet, aren't we?
I mean, I do like the It's basically become a meme at this point of the Biden. Yeah, they were doing the fucking stickers of the gas prices, but I do kind
Yeah.
of like using that Biden meme of just I did that.
Yeah. I did that.
I did that.
Oh God, I hate this country.
There's, at some point it's just we just hate this world. Like
I'm I'm
at
going
some
to
point
I'm going to Canada. I just am.
maybe I don't know. I don't know where I'm going.
You'll come with me. Your girlfriend wants to go. We're all going.
Oh no, I don't. She very much so wants to go.
Oh,
she is very
trust me.
vocal about that.
The four of us, we're all going up to Canada.
Let's just go.
Welcome to the Offshore Gamescast, eh? On this episode, let me talk about my free healthcare.
Also, I like how just day one we have Canadian accents.
Well, yeah. That's how much you get immersed. We get the new patch, and then we continue on.
Oh, I wish I could just fucking patch myself to be different.
Oh God,
that sounded a little more cynical than I meant for it to.
I don't know why, but when you said cynical, the first thing that came to my brain was pepper, like a pepper shaker. I don't know, man.
Why?
It's 12. I don't know.
But there's not even like a word that sounds like it would be like, I'm
still trying to figure it out.
What about the word cynical makes you think pepper shaker?
I'm sleepy. I don't know.
All right, sleepy boy. Let's get you to bed.